Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? We're here. This is Pernell Bobby, and I'm letting you know today 14 tips you find yourself as an empath, a healer, an energy worker. I'm going to help you understand astrologically what is happening right now in order for you to really just stand in your power. Okay, it's time to set, hold, maintain, and heighten the boundaries that you set as an empath. Okay, so I'm here to give you 14 tips. You can always refer. Today, I'm really looking to kind of get right into it. All right. And before I do what I'll say, for those of you watching, definitely hit the like and subscribe button. If you find yourself as a healer, you find yourself as an empath, find yourself as a light worker, somebody who is giving energy or receiving energy from others that they may not fully be able to understand themselves, but they do through you as a conduit. This is something you want to check in with. Hey, Nancy. At the pinned message, you'll see I'm running a Scorpio new moon. All right, the new moon in Scorpio is November 4th. It's going to be a big time. It's actually a super new moon. So it's going to work in tandem with the lunar eclipse, which is, again, another stronger moon later in the month of November, November 19th. And this is a two-part workshop. 1, 2, I'm going to bring you through understanding how to set your new intentions. All right, especially for those of you that are Scorpios. We're going on Scorpio season. It's about to get real crazy. I'll even say Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer signs, any of your water placements. You're going into a watery season. All right, we're talking about the unseen. So this is the land of empaths, right? This is the land of hey, Nancy, how you doing? Nancy, I'm curious. How's my voice? Is my voice clear? Would you mind letting me know that? I want to just check if this mic is picking up really well or not. But yeah, we're going into a watery season. All right, this is the land of what you can't see, the energies you can't see. So it's more important to check in with these 14 tips because, man, when I tell you it's about to get a little crazy, right? Yeah, thank you, Nancy. Step one, my first tip for you today, as you hit that like, you hit that subscribe button, and you check out the next event coming up. It's a donation-based workshop. It's going to be a embodiment practice. We're going to be focused on a forgiveness meditation, but it's going to be a movement meditation, taking you through different things. Some of it maybe being Tai Chi. I allow this to be a little more intuitive. All right. Some of the breath works that we were talking about, fingers on third eye. If you check my breath workshop, connecting the left brain to the right brain, breathing out the opposite nostril. So there's going to be a lot of things happening. Definitely want to check out that workshop because now's the time. You know, we have a lot of Aquarius energy that has gone direct. Aquarius is like groups, right? Finding and connecting with your tribe. You know, in the last 4 months or so, we've been held back from having the right people in our lives, from having the long-standing tribe that's going to stay, support, and help work us through some of these stages of evolution. All right, I'm gonna go. I can't do yoga or Tai Chi. I'm go. I can't do yoga or Tai Chi. I'm not sure exactly what that means. You don't want to do yoga or Tai Chi. You can't as a physical disability. Definitely let me know. So I'm gonna dive into tip number 1 for my empaths out here. All right, my light workers, my healers, people that find themselves giving energy or even receiving energy from others. It's really important to stand in your power. Okay, and in order to do that, one of the first tips I put out here is to just try to actually use some crystals. But the thing about crystals is you don't just go to the store and pick the prettiest one. All right. That's not how you pick a crystal. You don't go to the store and be like, ooh, I want that one. It takes time to feel out the energy. On top of that, before you even go to the store, the crystal shop, or you order a crystal offline, I highly recommend you do a little research prior on what are the research on yourself, right? What are the emotions that I'm dealing with right now that I'm struggling to handle? All right. Okay. Maybe you're feeling rage and anger, and you're feeling like it's just uncontrollable and you want to pop, you want to burst. Then I will be thinking, what are the crystals that help me to align with myself in that space? So that now talks about something like lapis lazuli, helps you to transmute anger. All right, it's a blue stone. Generally, any blue stones are going to be great for rage, anger. That just seems like it's just rising from some deep part within you that you don't fully understand. Or maybe you're going through a heartbreak, and you're feeling heartbroken, you're feeling betrayed, you're feeling like you can't forgive the people you're with. First off, this workshop is going to be about forgiveness. And so you should check in with that. I'll put that in the comments, actually pinned at the top. But then at that point, you want to work with green stones, pink stones, rose quartz, emerald. Like right now, I'm rocking with some of the green stones, and it's on my heart right now, to help me focus and go through the healing process through my heart chakra, taking some of its hits from the last relationship that I was in. So I highly recommend use crystals for added protection. But this is the thing about any crystal: don't rely on the crystal. All right, don't think the crystal is going to be the one to take care of all your problems. If you're an empath, you're a healer, you're a light worker, you're dealing with a narcissist, you're dealing with somebody who wants to use your energy, you're dealing with somebody who wants you to be their piggyback system, and they want to ride your back as long as you allow them to. This is the time to check in with yourself. And again, just to finish this tip number 1 for my empaths: talk sediments to me, baby. Hell yeah, let's do it. This is my time checking with the empath. So, just be honest with yourself up front of what you need going into before you get a crystal, and understand that the crystal is not an end all be all, right? It's not going to be the thing that just handles all your problems. I got a rose chakra, I got a rose quartz, and my heart's broken, so this is going to help me it's going to just take care of all my problems. No, it's going to help you to allow a deeper level of healing, an accelerated level of healing, a more intuitive level of healing. But you still have to do the inner work, right? You still have to feel the pain. All right. It's not so that you won't feel the pain. It's actually opening you up so that you can feel that pain, and you can remember that pain in your body of like, look, this is what I don't want to go through. And in order to do that, you have to allow yourself to feel. So that's been happening with me lately. Let me check in with the comments. That's tip number 1 for my empaths out here, learning how to set boundaries, physical, and I'm about to be moving. I can't stay still. I'm all about moving. Oh, hell yeah, Nancy. So this is going to be the one for you then, this workshop, because I don't like to stay still either. I have DDD and SI pain. I suffer from chronic pain and migraines. Simple. Super simple. I studied as an exercise physiologist prior, and it's like working with people and their injuries to be able to do exercises, movement exercises that they thought really they were just impossible, was part of my specialty in university. So I started with the human body, and it turned into spiritual as I began to help people, including myself, right, to remove some of these barriers. So let me see. Talk sediments to me, baby. My girl, Misa. However, I'm still trying to get my baking business going, and that's a task all on its own. Yeah, Nancy, we got our natal reading coming up. We're gonna do our astrology blueprint, so we're gonna understand like what are the blocks that's holding you back. We had 4 different planets that were just in retrograde, but that went direct on the 18th. Right now, I'm looking. It's actually 10/20, 10/10. Wow, 20, 10/20, 10/10, 20. It's October, which is the 10th month, 20th, the year 2021, and I'm looking at 10/10 on the clock. That is a portal. So a 10/10 is a portal. The October 10th, that time frame, we went through another portal, a portal of acceleration, a portal of healing. So all my empaths out there, my healers, my light workers, my service providers, the ones that are doing energy work for people. I know, Missy, you putting in energy in the crystals that you're building. Nancy, I'm positive you're looking to put good energy into the baking business as well. Right now, you have a portal. You have a moment to not complain, to stand in your power, to not play small, to be honest about how you feel and what hurts, and what you would like to improve. So this is a 10/10 portal. I'm calling that out loud. However, I'm still trying. Okay, a talisman for building your own collective energy. Hell yeah, I rock with that. With the 3 kids. Oh yeah, Nancy. I mean, honestly, I had a reading with a woman yesterday who had 3 kids, and I see families. I'm out here traveling the world, and I see families with 4 kids traveling, babies traveling, running their own businesses. You know what? There's a certain point where we got to step away from certain level of security or certain levels of procrastination and make some steps to go forward. As meaningful as the locket from your mother, when you look and you feel motherly love, eternal love, put that intention with your rose quartz and build and amplify that energy with you. Missy, hell yeah. Thank you, because you just confirmed that really crystals is something to do, but it takes more steps. That setting that intention was a key. So from my empath, we're gonna move to number 2 out of 14 tips here. for all my empaths to set better boundaries, and to really stand in your power. All right. This is the most important one, I think. Take the time alone before you enter a relationship. Now, I know this is one thing. If you're already in a relationship, it may seem like, well, damn, I'm already in a relationship. Well, even if you're in a relationship now, talk to your partner, communicate with them, and say, hey, look, I need to take some time for myself. I actually remember, like, I said the same thing for myself as well, and it didn't go to plan, but whose plan, right? It didn't go to my plan, but it probably went to God's plan, whoever or whatever God is. But take that time and recognize that, like, if you say that you need some time, you need some space, if you're already in a relationship and you find your partners can't respect that, then that's something to look into. And also understand that part of you standing in your power as an empath is to accept that your emotions are just as valid as the person that you're dating. All right. So especially if you find yourself dating a narcissist or an egocentric person, like, understand that your feelings are just as valid, and neither you or your partner is above one another. All right. But even if you're single and you listen to this video as an empath, I would say the same thing. Like, take the time to understand your emotions before you enter the relationship, because the key thing with this second tip is, now you're not going to necessarily take on the energy and the thoughts of the other people that you're helping, that you're healing unconsciously. All right. You're doing it with consciousness. And this is key. You're not doing it unconsciously. Now, over the last couple of days to about a week, maybe a week and a half, like, I'm going through a Scorpio 12th house transit. And this shit is brutal, yo. I'm being honest. Like, 2 days ago, I was crying so much, my fucking head was just hurting. I was just like, make it stop. I was I went to bed at 8:30 last night. I woke up at 10 p.m. You know what I'm saying? And I stayed up until 2:40 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I woke back up at 6 a.m. So, like, shit is real ugly right now, honestly. And I know that I won't be able to sustain this way of living, but for whatever reason, God is just telling me, yo, push, son, push, 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 keep moving forward. So I'm going to do that. My team, my tribe is telling me, like, yo, look, we recognize you. We see your shit. We see what's happening. Push, keep going forward. And I'm like, look, that's the only thing my intuition is telling me, along the fact that I'm going to crash. I do know that I'm going to crash. I'm going to need a hiatus. But until that time comes, it ain't here yet. Nancy, I never had motherly love. I raised myself. So I'm talking about parents or any sort is a sore subject. How do I not take people's pain when I give massages? Because this sucks. Yo, Nancy, so we're here. We're here. We're here. You just got tip number 1. Really focus on the crystals. All right. You got tip number 2, but not just to focus on the crystals to help you regenerate and to help you from the healing that you need to do for yourself. But the second step, the second tip for the empaths, the healers, the massage, the light workers out here, to take the time to understand your emotions, right? If you're already in the relationship, be bold. Standing in your power is being able to be bold and recognizing, you know what, whoever you're dating, if you're watching this video and you find you need to set boundaries for yourself, whoever you're dating, they probably are going to be very and highly offended when they no longer can have 24/7 access to you. When you say, hey, look, I need to take a little time for myself to be able to separate from your emotional world and recognize which emotions are mine, what thoughts are mine. Because I'll tell you, I've been having thoughts in my head. I'm like, yo, these aren't my fucking thoughts. Like, I'm not sitting here naturally thinking shit or bad on people, but these thoughts are coming in my mind. Like, I'm starting to like silently like wish bad on people. And I'm like, time the fuck out. Like, what's up with that? And me taking the time for myself, I'm able to objectively look at this and realize these are not my thoughts. Like, I am not wishing bad on people. This is the projection coming from the outside. And this is where I continue to fail. This is where I had to learn about my karmic relationship cycles, on when did I absorb the energy and the emotion and the thoughts of people so much that I became confused about what was actually mine. Other than that, anybody that's like, Nancy, from what you were saying, like, there's 2 people right now that are in the pipeline with me, and they're looking to take one-on-one retreats. I'm literally on one-on-one retreats, whether it's here in Colombia or whether it's going to be in Mexico. And these 2 people are in the pipeline. And, I created some options with this based off of the feedback that people give, either a 1 week, a 2 week, which seems to be the most popular, or an entire month. And people are coming out here to everything you're speaking about right now, which everything I was going through last year during my dark night of the soul, and you can check this video, this dark night of the soul video I have, when, you know, my reality, my illusions was crashing. And empaths, if you're out there, you have a shit ton of realities and illusions that are always going to be crashing throughout your life. Why? Because you absorb the energy, the thoughts, the emotions, the feelings, the vibes of other people. And if you're not willing and to understand your own emotional world and stand in for yourself, then you will start to absorb that. And there's a point where, you know, even when you know how to heal yourself, even when you know how to take care of yourself, you find yourself just so drained and unable to recover, unable to, you know, step back into your power, unable to even set boundaries that last or that you were able to honor. So I'm running this one-on-one retreat. Definitely, if anybody interested, just shoot me a message here in the chat, and we'll book. We'll book a little schedule, and there'll be a little free, like, I have a free schedule for this retreat, specifically going out with an entire presentation already done. And I'm looking to do what I know I needed as well during this time frame. It's like sometimes the healers and the empaths need other people to fucking help them heal too, because we take on so much shit. To be honest, there's so many people every fucking day that I don't want to say responsible for helping, but it's almost like there is this mentality that has this responsibility to go ahead and do and give in the way that I do without locking myself up, without turning off my heart, without sitting there and saying, you know what, fuck everybody. Because I've been in that mood lately on some real shit. Like, I've been on that mood, like, you know what, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And I've been real short with people. I just been like, look, me standing in my power right now in this moment has not been cutting people off, not shutting my heart on, but allowing myself to feel the pain, but also still being able to say, you know what, right now I got my own pain to deal with. So I don't have time to deal with your complaining. I don't have time to deal with your pain, to an extent that I have to then lower myself, right? Let's check in with the comments. Missy Frederick, what's up, girl? How you doing? Nancy saying my mother was absent, and it's taken me my entire life so far to learn how to nurture myself. Yeah, let's help each other out in these comments right now. Like, this seems really dope. Let's see what's happening. How can we help each other based off of what we're hearing? Are you a projector? I know you ain't no reflector with all that Aries. Hell no. I'm a generator with all that Aries. I'm a generator. Like, when something is passion roaring on my heart, roaring on my chest, I just go out and do it. But I'm a 5-1 generator. So, yeah, I'm a 5-1 generator. So it turns into the fixer, right? The fixer. And this is something I had to, as an empath, as another healer out here doing the work, just like you listening to this on the side. I had to recognize what the fixer thing is like. And it's like, you know, people will look at me almost, and I gotta like say this clear based off of how I understood it, almost as if I'm God that can fix and heal anything. And it's like, ironically, I've been given the skill sets to do something like that. Now, however, on the opposite end, I had to recognize that this fixer, this 5-1 fixer, which is like the heteric, all right? When people look at you for like faith and like to answer their problems, on the opposite side, the moment that I create some barriers, what we're talking about right now, empaths creating some barriers, standing in their power, those same people that praised me, when I'm now not sitting there feeding their ego or feeding their narcissism that comes with it, then that becomes the same complete opposite, where they're the ones that want to drag me down to hell, literally rub my name and my spirit and everything about me in the dirt, as if everything prior never even existed, as if the praise they gave out never existed. So I'm actually a 5-1 generator. And that's just part of my role in this life. It's just part of my role in this life. So it's a constant balancing act. Number 3, the third tip. And Missy, let's try to see what we can get. Oh, wow, we got 2 Missies in here. Wow. To help with the mother concept. Yeah, honestly, without looking into your chart, I don't necessarily know where to go with that. Like, that would be something I would look into your natal chart to see like where to go with that. But if you know your own chart, I would say look in the space of the moon. Look at any space where your Cancer placements sit in your astrology chart. Any spaces in the 8th house and maybe even a 12th house. And hopefully you can figure out a couple things. Your sign? You're not a reflector, are you? Are you a projector, reflector, manifester? Anybody on here? Tell me what you are. Third tip for my empaths to set boundaries, to step in and live in their power. Read the emotions of a room. All right. You have this ability, but it's time to really start using that shit. Read the emotions of the room. Read the energy of a room. All right. And set the boundaries on, what parts of that room, who you just not going to talk to. When you walk in, you can, if you're an empath watching this, you're working with energy daily. You already can see and feel the unseen, right? So you already know, like, oh, that group of people over there, those are the gossipers. I don't need my energy to be drained on that. Okay, this group over here, this group looks like a bunch of, a ball of light. Maybe if I have to be here, I'm going to spend my space and my time over here. Or, maybe this is just a room altogether. Like, I'm going to turn around and I'm not going in this shit. But just make sure you be careful with, just avoiding progress, avoiding connection, because the thing for empaths is it's very easy for us to get into the place where we allow ourselves to be so drained that we begin to actually avoid certain rooms, and we rather just say that we're introverts because that just handles everything. Do you know witchcraft? Hell yeah, I know witchcraft. I'm a fucking bruja. I'm a brujo. I practice shamanism daily. You're a witch too. Everybody's a witch, whether you know how to use it or not. Like, you're using it anyway. It's just a matter of, are we aware of what spells are we casting? Think about it. Every single word that comes out of my mouth right now on the other side, I'm casting spells, quite frankly. But there are more intentional ways of witchcraft as well. I would say Missy Pink on here is definitely in that space of witchcraft. I would say that. But hell yeah, I'm a witch. Aren't you? Isn't everybody on here watching this a witch? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And you know what's dope about traveling? I meet a lot of witches, a lot of brujas, like people that it's just a part of their culture, right? Like, it's not this weird thing like, oh, burn them at the stake, like, and I grew up in Connecticut where like Salem witch trials is right next to us. Projected with self-authority. Okay. I wish I knew more about the projector, but I don't. I know mostly about the manifesting generator and the generator. I don't know a lot about that. And hell yeah, Nancy, I teach people magic. Like this is literally one of the things that I do in my one-on-one retreats is teach people how to work with their altar setup, teach people how to work with crystals, teach people how to work with food alchemy and literally like grounding yourself through food, right? Bruja, brujo, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So number 3, tips for empaths setting barriers. Yo, check the room, read the room, and be honest with your intuition. This is one of the toughest part for my empaths, because you ironically feel exactly what other people across from you are thinking, even when you don't talk to them. You already know what they want, and you know what they need, and you know how to provide it, right? So when you walk into a room, this is tip number 3, read the emotion of the room and check out for the people who really just want to drain you, yo. Check out for these energy vampires and start creating barriers, start standing in power and say no. If you look at the fucking, what is it called? The thumbnail that I put up, I went like this. This means timeout. No. All right. So let's see what tip number 4 is. Are you a witch? Hell yeah, I'm a witch. I get banned on platforms for telling the truth like that. Casting magic every day. All right, number 4 out of 14 tips for my empaths. I think this one's critical because this is where I think we start to lose our power, right? Accept that you are weird. 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 By the constraints and definitions of the societies we live in, especially in Western culture. All right. I have to say, especially in Western culture, because when I was living in Asia, it's just not the same. All right. I live down here in Colombia. It's just not the same. Right. These are people who are way more connected to their roots, their indigenous roots, their ties, their family ties, and they have their local shamans, they have their indigenous medicine. So, it's not considered weird to say I'm a witch or a bruja over here. Over here, it's just like, oh yeah, bro, me too. We all witches. So recognize like how your community can be a restraint, because I can tell you, like, from the time I lived in the U.S., I mean, maybe in California you get a little bit better in different ways, but like ultimately, it's like that's not necessarily accepted. Mind you, they used to burn witches, the Salem witch trials. All right. But accept that you're weird and accept that you're psychic. All right. This is the key. Like, if you're an empath, especially if you're fucking with a narcissist or some energy vampires, they will try to fuck with your head and make you stop believing and trusting with your intuition. Okay. They will try to fuck with your head. And this is where they want to be so close to you. They don't want to give you no space because they don't want you to think for yourself. They don't want you to stay under their spell. Think about it. If you're with a narcissist, you're under their spell as well. You are under their spell. And part of their spell is it requires proximity, and it requires you doing so much for them at every fucking little second that you don't ever have a moment to think or do anything for yourself. This is how it works. That is how it works. So this is part of their magic spell, and this is really where the black magic is happening. It's like, so yeah, accept that you're weird, accept that you're psychic. Don't fucking deny your intuition. All right. You're gonna recognize a lot of people are just not gonna understand you. That's cool. This is the fourth tip. But stand in your power by trusting your intuition. It's just critical. It's critical because I'll be honest. Like I have it at there's moments in my last relationship where it's like, you know what? My intuition was telling me something. It was telling me something. It was telling me something. It was telling me a whole bunch of somethings. I had dogs telling me something. I had the birds talking to me on some real. The birds, the dog. I had strangers. You know, everybody was. But at the same time, like this is where part of my illusions was really in play too, because you know, this is where I got trapped in the ideal. All right. And this is kind of what I look at as like lust in its own way. It's like lust. I got caught in the ideal of who this person I want in my life looks like, feels like, acts like. And because of that, I got attached to the illusion. All right. Not necessarily even the person, but the illusion. So this is really critical. This is really critical for all empaths because, you know, your third eye and your crown chakra, when we're struggling on these lower levels, think about how the chakras work from the red and the 7 chakras going up to the top. When the lower levels are out of balance, you don't have access to the throat and your expression, to your imagination and seeing through illusion. Or the crown chakra, where you find yourself addicted to different spiritual channels, let's say on YouTube, or looking for all your answers outside of you. That's when you know your crown chakra is out of balance. When you're like every single day you're looking for tarot readings. Thank you for that like and that subscribe. I appreciate you. I saw you there. Check in with that. All right. For my empaths, check in with that, because when we don't set those boundaries on the human level, on the mundane level of ground chakra, what brings us security and what makes us feel safe, what brings us the money in, what makes us feel stable emotionally. All right. And then it gets into the pleasure and the joy. I did a sacral chakra breathwork exercise to teach you how to charge up your sacral energy, your sacral chakra energy, to use that life force energy that creates a baby and bring it to different parts, different systems within your body to heal, to forgive, to break illusions. And taking my time for myself. All right. If you go back to rule number 2, I think it said take time for yourself to understand your own emotions. It helped me understand my own fucking emotions. Can you channel the dead? I have. I don't necessarily focus on channeling the dead. Quite frankly, they just pull up on me when they pull up. And sometimes it's for me to answer the call, and sometimes it's just for me to recognize that they're there and not do anything at all. But I can tell you, my ex lady, her father was dead, and there's been a couple different times when you know, he visited and she wasn't able to talk to him, but he was talking through me to her. And it was very, very interesting because it was some of the first times I actually learned how to protect myself in a way where I didn't get drained from certain contacts, from certain channeling messages. Because prior in my life, I just wasn't fully aware. Sweet. Do you teach? Do I teach channeling? Absolutely. I think I need to do better at see, I'm not the guy that markets, right? So like I don't know how to like say all the things that I do. I just know how to do what I do when people ask. This is kind of that part of that 5-1, that what do you call it? The manifesting, no, the 5-1, the fixer, and the heteric. It's like I was blessed with these abilities, but it's like until it, like that, it's almost like, you know, most of my life was spent on introspection and inner work and just on myself, away from society and the marketing piece on how to like actually talk about what the fuck I can or I do for people. A lot of times it don't come up until somebody talk to me in person. But do you help people, or do you help people with your gift? It's both. It's really both. It's really both. Like I have a flyer currently literally out there. Like this happens more like in the one-on-one retreat or even the group retreats that I run. And I kind of bring out the people, like the healers, that those empaths that need that recharge. And I bring them out to the countries that I'm in, because mind you, there's so much nature in these places that the recharge is pretty much already starting just because of the amount of nature. And I'm not even on the floor where you can actually see what the nature looks like. This is just right next to me and inside my house, right? So, Nancy, if it's something interesting, just shoot me a message and we could talk about it. Whether you're looking to actually learn how to channel for yourself, or whether you're looking to just have a message channel for you, it's a possibility. I mean, this is part of what I was gifted with. So number five tips out of 14 for my empaths, for my healers, for my light workers, all right, from people looking to set barriers. Here's the 5th tip: isolate when you feel like you're overwhelmed by crowds. All right, like this is critical. Okay, when you're overwhelmed, I know we have all felt it, especially 2 days ago. I felt that energetic shift in the world, and it was so depressing. I swear to God, like I was down and out. I was just crying. My head was hurting. And a couple of days prior, I was like, God, please let me cry. I literally was like, I was walking the street. I was like, God, I need to cry. I was like, please help me cry. And, my sister called me that next morning after I asked to cry, and she told me about a dream she had. And she channeled a message for me through her dream. And she was talking about all these holes. She's like, P, you had all these holes in your body, like legit holes. Anyone know about covert narcissist? I don't necessarily know what a covert narcissist is. Is a narcissist that's hidden? Like, because in some way I feel like most narcissists are hidden. I almost want to hit you with a Google search real quick. I just copied and pasted it. What is a covert narcissist? Covert narcissist is a term to describe a person who has narcissistic personality disorder, but does not display the grandiose sense of self-importance that psychologists associate with the condition. They may appear shy or modest. Absolutely. CJ, my dude, or my lady, I don't know who you are exactly. I had another empath narcissist video that I put out there, and I spoke about how empaths are also narcissists. All right, I spoke about that, so I won't go too deep into that because that was more specific to that video. My personal opinion: every great leader that has also existed is a narcissist to some extent. It's like, when you're making, like, I'm talking like global shifts in the world. Let's use the example of Hitler for a second, like Adolf Hitler. You're changing the world in such a way, it's all about viewpoint, right? There's no such thing as good and bad in this war. There's a spiritual war that's constantly and always going on, right? I'm a dude that didn't choose the pink color. I ain't mad at you, CJ. I mean, shit. You see my YouTube? My shit's like pink and purple. Like literally, like my whole YouTube channel is like pink and purple and like rainbow colors. So I ain't got no judgment on colors. Like I like pink, quite frankly. Like I think my shirt's near pink. Near pink. So I ain't got no judgment on that. But yeah, like, there's no good or bad. This is my point. There's no good or bad, right? Anybody can sit there and say, Hitler was a bad person, or anybody could say that Hitler was the fucking savior, right? And you're gonna get both sides of this, but the reality is there's no good or bad in this. There's really no good and bad in this, and it's obvious that he had his narcissistic tendencies. And the irony is, from the research that I did and the people I've talked to, is like he was also really just following the lead of other people and what the people wanted. So it's like, in some ways, he was covert because he wasn't necessarily fully doing it for himself. He was doing it for the people that he felt he was supporting. He believed in a cause, and he did what he did. Now that looked like what it looked like, and obviously it's pretty gruesome. It's pretty ugly, but at the same time, it's like look at America. All right, look at America. These are covert narcissists, right? Like they're not sitting there and wearing the badge entirely as if they are so self-centered, but they're not showing up on the public stage like that. You feel me? Yeah, bro. Like, but again, this is what I'm talking about. Like the label of evil itself, all right? The label of good itself, the label of Lucifer, the label of God, like just the label itself, it is doing what? It's creating. I look at what would be evil, it'd be division, dividing people, making this person good and that person bad, making this person evil and that person. At the end of the day, I'm not saying what happened, what he did was right. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is there was a belief. Like I'm positive in this. Whether the outside perception and everyone else believed it was bad, like I'm pretty positive he believed that he was doing something for, I don't even want to say the better good, because I don't know if he fully believed that. I'm not in his head. But I do know that at bare minimum, for things to have gone that far, he believed in an ideal. He believed in an ideal. No different than the empaths on this video watching right now. We believe in an ideal of these love partners. We believe in it. And so we fucking betray ourselves and we do shitty shit to ourselves. And we do shitty shit to other people because now we hurt ourselves so bad that maybe we now turn around and hurt other people, because empaths, if you're watching it, you understand the emotions of other people. So you know exactly what it takes to hurt that person. And so if you're an empath and you're trying to sit there and say like, you ain't never do no evil shit, you're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. So again, you know, when people think of empaths, they naturally think of these are good people. But these people, empaths, healers, we do bad shit too. Like even if you look at Jesus, right? Like there was this big block of span of time where Jesus was going through his fuckboy years, right? But all that stuff is it's only highlighted of what good had happened, right? Like no one in this world has just been good or has just been evil. Nobody. Nobody. Let me look at number 5. You know, when you find yourself, for empaths, just completely overwhelmed by the crowds, or you live in a less, find some of it depends, right? So I look at people's astrology charts, and a lot of people with a lot of like 12th house placements, all right? They often are the ones that live in either less populated cities to help protect themselves, to help build their boundaries, stand in their power. Actually, those people are so hypersensitive to their environment placements. I find that they need to isolate even more. All right. Or even a lot of 4th house placements, they like may stay up in the crib and isolate in that manner. But you know, find the city for you. Like if you in your daily are just overwhelmed so much because you live in a LA or a New York City, maybe you need to, as an empath, find the right city where, you know, there's a little more nature. For me, this city worked because I just showed you there's a tremendous amount of green. There's literally green everywhere, everywhere. From the moment you get off the airport, you see it everywhere. And it's important for me. And I had to accept that. And I'm a little bit more out of balance naturally. And I'm not able to go as far or heal as quickly and help as many when I don't have that nature around. So being overwhelmed by crowds as an empath, taking in so much extra energy that's outside yourself, is something to check in with. Tip number 6. Here we go. Tip number 6 of my empaths, they need to set boundaries. That want to step in their power. Develop your shield, all right? And strengthen your boundaries, but stand in your power. Now, what do I mean by that? When I say develop your shield, I learned this technique when I was living in Asia, all right? If you find yourself in a crowd, you find yourself somewhere where energetically it's just naturally draining, or you find yourself around a tremendous amount of vampires, like energy vampires that just want to drain you dry, and they come in at you with a smile. You know, most narcissists, like, people are fucking charming. You know what I mean? They're like this. They're charming and they're clever and they're witty, so they don't always look like a threat up front. That's kind of how they grab you in the beginning, right? And they'll give you everything that they believe you want, and they'll really good at convincing that you believe that this is what you want. And this is where we got to check with the illusion. So develop your shield. And I learned this in Asia, and it's like I could just literally have the moment where I close my eyes, and I had a guy tell me, I want you to imagine a blue orb, literally a blue orb, like a force field. Think Anakin Skywalker, Star Wars, call it what you want. Just imagine a blue orb around you. And within this blue orb, your energy can't go outside this orb, and no other energy from the outside that orb can come in your orb. So now you begin to hone in and cultivate energy, your energy, and recognize what your energy is like, your emotions, your thoughts. You can keep other thoughts out, and you can keep your thoughts in. I'm not saying you should use this at every instance all the time. Because again, you know, I think that we need to communicate with others, and to just shield yourself from the world is playing small and it's playing victim mentality. So that's not what I'm going to recommend. But there are other scenarios where it's like that shit is very helpful. It helps me tremendously to put that shield up, recognize when I'm in certain environments, recognize when I'm like, look, I need to mask my energy. Like, right at the Scorpio rising, there are moments where I'm like, look, in this environment, I'm going to mask my energy using this scorpionic power, if you will. And it's helpful. But the key is to also stand in your power, okay? Strengthen your boundary and stand in your power. there is a line where we just become these feeble little creatures. You feel me? I'm a motherfucking Jedi. That's what I'm talking about. Motherfucking Jedi. It's like, step back. I swear to God, I be doing this. Like sometimes at these moments, I'm like force field. And you know, I say this as somebody who, like, even when I had a girlfriend, I would have moments when I would do this, like, you know, or a mom, or you know, a neighbor that you really like, a best friend that you like. There are moments where even then it's like, you know, it's not the people that you don't know that you're looking to always protect yourself from. It's actually the people that you do know, because they're the ones asking you for help as an empath, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just random strangers walking up to you, hey, can you heal me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's usually your friend, it's your mom, it's your dad, it's your boyfriend. You feel me? So be a motherfucking Jedi, like Missy said. That's what I'm talking about. But you know, stand in the power. Stand in the power. Don't become a victim. Don't become a victim. Here's number 7. We're halfway. 7 tips right now out of 14 tips for my empaths. Don't abandon yourself by ignoring your problems and only focus on others. This is a key major tip. Key major tip. And I'm so happy I finally stepped out the cycle. I had made a song. I was like, black boy out of the circle. Something out of the circle. And it was what that circle was for me, like the circle, the cycle, in my cycle and karmic relationship, I'm talking about like 10 plus years, was I would abandon myself, right? It's just that simple. I would focus only on other people's problems. I had no time and space for my problems. I didn't even know what the fuck my problems were, because I was so overwhelmed with the problems of the people I was helping. And this is what I had to learn as that 5-1 generator. You could check that video that I put out as the fixer. Is, again, like, I had to recognize when I actually loved the praise from helping people so much, that praise that I would get from people who were only there part-time, who were only there as long as I could help them. And as soon as I didn't help them, I then become the devil in their eyes. And then I'd be left empty as fuck. And those would be the moments where I abandon the fuck out of myself. I just be empty at the end. Got nothing. And at one point, I put myself down so far. I literally gave so much. Like, I spent so much time building people up, that when it was all said and done and they would then turn, because I decided I need to start building myself at least 15% of the way I built you up, the stability that I would provide, I would be drained. I have zero. I got nothing left. So this is critical. Number 7, don't abandon yourself. Don't only focus on the problems from the people across from you. All right. Don't only focus on other people and what they're going through. Focus on what you're going through. Focus on creating the time and space for yourself. Missy, I just visited my family recently, and I closed the doors to my energy. Yo. And then my boy CJ said, listen, pink gray rock. I don't even know what pink gray rock is, but motherfucking Jedi. Well done. And I feel you. Missy. Like, it's really hard with family to have to close your energy off. And I know you have a South Node in Cancer, right? So past life being family, and it's like, you know, this is where astrology really helps us to be real specific of what am I walking away from. Like, in a sense, you're walking away from stability of what family used to look like in your past life, and you're walking into creating your own legacy, right? Helping becomes an ego-driven priority. Yo, this is, you're talking to an Aries 5th house stellium, okay? Sun, moon, Mercury. That 5th house, that it loves the drama of the praise, the ego part. I had to wake the fuck up on this one. I really had to see myself on where the ego-driven priority was just the priority, feeding that emptiness, quite frankly, that bottomless hole of praise, and sit there and say, you know what? Fuck your praise. I had to learn how to say fuck the praise, quite frankly, and step away from it and step into my power by being able to praise. And that was where number 7 for my empaths comes in. Don't abandon yourself. Don't abandon yourself and ignore your own problems, because you will regret it. You know, I'll be honest, like, I've been hurting lately from recognizing. I've been really hurting in a way lately because I've been really seeing, you know, I'm going through a Scorpio 12th house transit. Like, my subconscious mind is coming out to light, and Aries in my 7th house. So it's like it's coming to light in the space of my relationships, business, platonic friendships, all this dark shit that I would skip. It's coming to light now. And it's really key. It's really key, you know. And I've been allowing myself to feel the pain without trying to be a glutton for pain, which has been a whole nother like don't get wrapped in the pain, Pete. Don't swim in it for too long. So that's lessons. My boy CJG, Gray Rock is a technique when dealing with narcs. I was asking Missy, did she go to Gray Rock on her family? Yeah, yo, CJ, you want to tell us what Gray Rock's what it is? Because I've never heard of this technique when dealing with narcs. And CJ, let me ask you this: do you consider yourself a covert narcissist? I say that because you asked earlier, and that's just a curious question, because you know we all here to help each other in some way, somehow, even if it's just ourselves. Tip number 8 from my empath is set boundaries and, you know, stand in your power and, you know, call a timeout. Like, call a timeout from the people that are just toxic and poison as fuck for you. Like, call a timeout. I've never heard of that, CJ, but I'm curious. I'm going to look into it. Yo, I feel you. I'm looking into it too right now. Everybody, definitely thank you for the like. Thank you for the subscribe on this video. Check in. Definitely looking to bring the power back to the people who have been continuously giving it out to others recklessly, like myself. So trying to learn from my lessons and give you what I know. Tip number 8 from my empaths. And don't forget as well, anybody in here, I'm doing a forgiveness movement meditation. Keyword being movement meditation. I don't like to sit still and just kumbaya. You know, we're going to be focusing on how to move the energy through the body, all those trapped emotions that are in the body. And we're going to be able to learn how to use our own energetic space, our own energetic field to begin to become self-healers. All right, number 8. You will be used and attract broken people. You're a conduit to heal them, but you'll be rewarded. All right, this is your next tip, empaths. Recognize that the people who are hurting you, you know, the people who you find have betrayed you, the people who you feel causes you so much pain. First off, we need to step into our power by releasing the blame. All right, by releasing the blame. That's okay, Nancy. It's okay. I appreciate you. You know, you got to be a good mom. I fully respect that. You got to be a good mom. Give your son that love that you wish you had from your mom. And I know that because from what you said earlier. But number 8, and I'm gonna get some of these comments as well because I see y'all coming in. You're flowing today, and I'm loving it. Number 8, you'll be used. Right? You're gonna attract broken people. If you're an empath, you're a healer, you're a light worker. Naturally, broken people are attracted to you. It's just what it is. It's part of what you're here for. It's part of what you're here for. It's part of what you're here for. But this is why we gotta learn how to stand in our power so that we can help from a place of strength rather than a place of need. Because this is where I had to check on myself, where that ego-driven priority of gaining the praise from whoever I've helped became the only engine, the only motor, which also kept me too far away from doing my own inner work, too far away from building my own self up, my own structure, my own discipline, to be able to stay clear on what I want to create in this world for myself. So, you know, recognize that we got to stop putting the blame on narcissists. If you're an empath watching this, you need to start blaming yourself. I need to start blaming myself. I am responsible 100% for the broken people that I have attracted in my life and how I managed my energy and put myself underneath the narcissist. I need to accept that full responsibility and recognize I put myself underneath their thumb. All right. I put myself underneath, as an empath, as a healer, underneath the thumb of the people that I was helping. But recognize this. Here's the beauty. You know, both of us are being played, the narcissist and the empath. Quite frankly, both of us have a grander mission, and we're both being played. We're both being used as conduits, all right, to accelerate our healing process. And this is what actually this is all about, right? We're both being conduits. So don't look at the person as if like, yo, damn, like you did all this bad shit to me. You betrayed me. I can't forgive you. I can't recognize like you're having a struggle with forgiving yourself. And this is why I had to check in where like I had the bigger trouble that I have is forgiving myself for allowing so much bullshit to take over me. So much bullshit to sit there and drain me and not allow me to build my practices, not allow me to build my self-esteem up, not allow me to build everything that I'm building for others, for myself. That's where I got to take in. So recognize that these people are conduits. Try not to look at the person and blame them and think that you're just the worst fucking person on the planet, because that's not the energy you want to really operate in. There's no reason to do that. That's not the energy you want to operate in. So don't do it. And we're going to move to number 9. But now before 9, I'm going to get to the comments. We're going to get to the comments. I see y'all rolling in. No, I'm not a narc. I've been dealing with narcs for the last 8 years. First was overt narc, like grandiose. Then recently been dealing with covert narcs. Okay. Yeah. On some real shit, I think I've been on the I kind of in the same, CJ. At first it was overts. But even then I was like just dumb, quite frankly. Like I was just dumb. I wasn't even thinking that somebody would ever want to do some shit like that to somebody else, But it's just what it was. The difference is empaths can heal, narcs can't. When you say empaths can heal and narcs can't, what can't a narc heal exactly? What exactly can they not heal? Are you talking about from an energetic level? Are you talking about from a physical level? Talking about mentally they can't heal? What exactly do you mean when you say that? But I'm sorry for cooking breakfast with my son. Amen, brother. Amen, amen, amen. Number 9. And CJ, I'll respond to whatever you say after that about narcs not being able to heal. Number 9, don't protect the people. Like, it's not your job to be their fucking savior. All right. If you're an empath, it's not your job to save the narcs. It's not your job to save people from narcissism. Okay. Use your sensitivity wisely. All right. Use it wisely. Use your sensitivity to their emotions, to people, wisely and objectively. It's one thing to be able to see somebody in their pain, in their suffering, in their emotions that they can't express, that they want to use you as a conduit to be able to help them get through their own shit for themselves. It's okay to be able to see that, all right, and receive people like that. But make sure you do it objectively, and make sure you remember that it's not your problem, first off, and you don't have to protect people. You don't have to be the number one barrier or the number one doormat. All right, if you're an empath, you don't have to be doormat A. For the people that you're helping and healing, people, in reality, it's almost like people don't even really need the help. They just need to be seen. You feel me? They need to be seen, and they need an open space, an open container, a non-judgmental open container to be received. But without your personal feelings getting involved, this is the hardest part. So I have a book that's finished that I'm really considering, like, it's going to be the next thing I'm going to get back into. And I see my mind wrapping around. It's called Objective Empathy. And it's really helping empaths essentially through my own life's journey of all the narcs that I've attracted with unconsciously at first, quite frankly. And it's helping empaths to be able to see the issues, the problems, the emotions of others, to receive the issues, the problems, the emotions of others, but to stay objective, to not allow their personal things to then be so impacted where you're now drained, you're now feeling like, damn, like, how did I let this happen in my life? How did I let this person fucking ruin me? How did I allow myself to be ruined at the expense of somebody else's problems becoming my own, of their thoughts of negativity becoming my own? So that's where number 9 is at. It's not your job to protect people. All right. It's literally your job to protect and invest in yourself. Law of attraction. Missy, I see you 100%. We attract the energy we build or harbor. The universe presents us opportunities to heal and transform. Absolutely. 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 A narc will always be a narc. It's a mental disorder. I want to press pause on this. And, I'm not going to take away I'm not going to disvalidate what you said, but I also want to press pause and just provide a different perspective. I think once again, it's the label that a narc is so different than an empath. You feel me? Like I always try to tell people this. Part of me needs to use these words intentionally because I'm operating on YouTube, and it's also part of my finances, quite frankly. It's a part of how I even attract people that comes to my events, how I attract people that end up booking my services to get astrology readings or to come to my one-on-one retreats. So I need to say certain words to be able to gain people like empaths and narcs. But, you know, a mental disorder within itself is such a defining label, right? It becomes this box where if we believe that as empaths that they can't heal because it is mental disorder, and then they believe this, it's the aguacate, man, the avocados, and then they believe this, the narcs believe that this box exists. They now have a green light to just fucking continue and think that, well, you know what? I've been clinically defined as a narcissist, so I'm within my rights to just wow the fuck out and do whatever the fuck I want. No. Hell no. 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 Question: do you think a person attracts narcissistic people in order to transform narc behaviors they may carry? Absolutely. So this goes back to number 8, because I'm gonna talk about myself real quick, right? I think this is number 8. You will be used and attract broken people. You're a conduit to heal them. So this is what I had to, but you'll be rewarded. I didn't add that part. You'll be rewarded, right? Like, quite frankly, God, spirit, universe, call it what you want. They using the fuck out of you, and they're using the fuck out of me. Okay. And the other people that are seemingly hurting us, they're being used as well. And I do believe that, Missy, like, it goes right back to number 8. Like, I do believe that it was to show me what behaviors of mine were narcissistic when I attracted more overt narcissists. Like right now, I think I'm more in a covert narcissist space, if you will. But in the beginning, I attracted overt narcissists. And right, I'm an Aries stellium. So who am I to say that when I was younger, that I was fully aware and conscious, especially when Aries doesn't think things out too much, right? It was this, Aries is the first one into the world, right? It's the first zodiac sign, the identity. So it's like no one else even fucking existed when the Aries came out the womb. Everybody else came after it: Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, all the way up through Pisces, right? So it's like I'm first in the world. So who's to say that, you know, my narcissist behaviors weren't present, even if I was unconscious about it, because I wasn't thinking. I'm just going forward. I'm an Aries, right? Aries sun, Aries moon, Aries Mercury. And this last relationship really showed me how, thankfully, I'm not in that overt narcissist space anymore. But it was painful in a way where I'm now watching myself through the next person. And the painful part is I'm watching where I had to evolve from, where I've actually evolved from, and where I am now. And that's part of what was trying to be revealed to my emotional world, to have my thinking catch up. Because the Aries doesn't think within me. The Aries doesn't think, and it just went forward. It's like, look, I'm first. I'm always first. I don't know anything but how to be first. So when somebody else comes around, it's like, I want the attention. And I was looking at things the wrong way. This Mercury retrograde had me fucked up. I'm looking at it the wrong way. I'm looking at it as like, yo, why is this person so fucking attention hungry? And what was happening was like, it was showing me how much attention I am craving and how unwilling I am to share that attention. All right. And so I really believe that there's no real line between the narcissist and the empath. We're the fucking same. We're the fucking same. We're the fucking same. We're the fucking same. Which is why I still can't believe necessarily that a narcissist is a mental disorder that can't be cured, that can't be healed. That's not true. Because I've had all types of people come to me that said they can't heal this, and this. I'm like, oh yeah? Well, pull up on me. See, this is the thing. Motherfuckers don't really want to heal. If you really wanted to heal, you pull up on me, you'll heal, and you'll be like, God damn, like it's done. Come have a narcissist sit there and come on me with one of these retreats that I run, one of these one-on-one personal retreats, and watch that motherfucker walk out here healed. Watch that motherfucker walk out here like the fucking new Jesus, the new Buddha, right? So, question: do you think I read that one? Yeah, narcs gonna abuse anyone who lets them. Most are self-unaware, so they give themselves the green light. Attention or validation. Ooh, Missy hit me with the bang bang. Attention or validation. That's a good one. That's a good one. Attention or validation. I honestly think it was the validation, because what I had learned through my last relationship was, in what ways did I grow up insecure, and in what ways do I, as a life path 11, need to step into the power of the 11, and not, because I'm a 29-11, I'm a 2-9-11. So to not step into the 2 part that equals 2 plus 9 equals the 11, to not step into the 2 part of codependency, or always having to wait for it to see what the other person does before I make a decision and step into the double one, the 11. I had to recognize this is where life have 11s mostly don't ever fulfill the maximum potential of their power. And for me, like, I really want to fulfill what's possible as a life path 11, as a leader, which is the double one. The one is the leader that moves forward. It is very secure in its decision, but the double one makes me very fucking shaky in that. Like, just as much big as my high can be, is just as big as my low. So as much as I can be so overly sure of myself, I can also be so overly insecure within my decisions that I make. So I think that the validation is what was the thing, not necessarily attention, but the validation, because of the ways in which I grew up insecure, stepping into that 2 energy, that I had to learn how to add in the 9 energy of the beliefs, let's say, that being altruistic in my beliefs, but bring it to the 11, to the double one, which is a double leader. Quite frankly, it's just like, it is the fucking leader. It's like, look, world, let's go this way with pure confidence. So it was the validation. And this is one of the things that was being taught to me. So it's like, you know what? I don't look at narcissists as some bad thing. Quite frankly, it's like, thank you, motherfuckers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because without you, I would still be insecure. Without you, I wouldn't be stepping into my path. Without you, I wouldn't even think about what it even means to set boundaries, or why would I need them. Without you, I'm a better empath because of you. I'm a better empath because of Narcissist. I'm a better fucking healer because of Narcissist. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yo, let's move on to number 10 out of 14 for what we got on the 14 tips that I mapped out for you. I'm gonna type this in the chat. Bang, bang. Definitely pull up in my workshop. Anybody interested in doing a one-on-one personal retreat with me? We're doing a 1 week, a 2 week, or a 1 month time frame. You're going to be coming out the country. I'm currently in Colombia. This could be between Colombia and Mexico. These are my 2 hubs that I run my retreats on this side of the world. So if not that, got a workshop coming for the Scorpio new moon. It's going to be November 6th for the workshop, but the new moon's on the 4th. And it's going to be a moving meditation focusing on forgiveness. But it's going to lead us to the fucking lunar eclipse in Taurus, which is really what I'm excited about. This is when, oh man, November 19th, yo, on that Taurus full moon, the lunar eclipse, that energy is going to last for 1 to at least 3 months or so after, because of the fact that it's an eclipse. It's not going to be just a couple, 3 days or so after. Leading for collective enlightenment. 11. Missy, you know about the life path 11? Leading for collective enlightenment. It's critical. And I'll be honest, you know, y'all, thank you for rocking with me on these lives. Thank you for rocking with me and sharing what you share. Because I'll be honest, like Missy just spoke about that life path 11 shit. I be wanting to quit sometimes. On some real, I be wanting to quit. I be looking up sometimes like, yo, God, you know what? Take this fucking power back. Quite frankly, like, I'm sick and I'm tired. I'm tired. Like, I'm having these moments, I'm like, yo, fuck it, man. Like, take it back. These people don't want to heal. They don't want to fucking listen. They don't want to do the work. Why did you give me this fucking role? But I had to recognize that I gave myself this role. So that's where I had to come back to. Like, I chose to come back as a life path 11. So I had to tap in with that and recognize, look, you know what? Every warrior of light is just going to have some bad fucking days. It's just what it is. Leading for personal enlightenment. I see. Okay. So let's go number 10 for 14, setting boundaries as an empath. You know, taking your power back, standing in your power. Create strategic physical boundaries with food. This is critical. These foods shift your energy and focus. So today, I wanted to get this. I'm here in Colombia, and they got these fried little balls, and they have cheese in the middle, and they're fried. It's like just like bread, and I wanted one so bad today. But I know that I'm already in a state where I'm a little bit more depressed. Like, I have a little more depression flowing through my body right now. I got a little more stagnant energy. I'm going through one of my own dark nights of the soul moments. So it's like my realities, my illusions are crashing. And I'm like, look, one of the boundaries I need to set as an empath is in times like this to eat better. So instead, I ate grounding food. I came back home. Instead of the quick food, I went to the store, and what does the pink represent? Because I see it for all 3 of us have it. Honestly, as soon as you say that, what I feel off the rip of like what this pink represents is heartfelt connection. I just I feel heartfelt connection right now. That's really just what I got. I feel heartfelt connection, and it's just that simple. I got nothing more. Like that's the channel that it came through. Um, and don't even worry about it, my man. You ain't even got to claim to be straight or anything different. It's like I ain't got no judgment, no matter what the fuck it is. I could care less. I don't think anybody on here cares. You know, we cool, baby. So with the empaths and the boundaries that we're setting. But what is your interpretation? What do you think the pink is about? Like what's coming in from you? Because you say you're an empath as well. Yeah. And Missy, this is kind of what I got as well. Like with the heart chakra, like I was thinking, like I was feeling almost like we're all in a stage where we want to also forgive ourselves for the shit that we've allowed. I feel like that's what the pink also was. That was what was in my head second about this heartfelt connection that we all may be experiencing. Like I think we're coming to a stage where with this Aries full moon happening right now, right? Today is the Aries full moon, literally today. Check my Aries full moon video out there if you're here watching this. It's us stepping completely into the illumination of who we are, who we've evolved into, the body that we now are living in. And I think as a part of that process, it's been like really painful in some ways for me to just be like, damn, you know what, P, you know what? I'm a little being honest with myself, like being honest with my heart. Like, you know what? I'm a little fucking angry with you, P. Like, I'm a little angry with you because I'm starting to recognize how much I need to forgive myself more and more and more daily and daily and daily because of all of the fucking pain that I just allowed to continue to fucking bubble up and just bubble up person to person to person to person, and how much shit I would just take on and how much I didn't allow myself to build even at 50% of the things that I've given to others. So showing love to the inner child. And so that was part of it. Like part of it for me was just being able to stop, pause, and admit that and let my heart feel hurt a little bit. Like this is just it. I was like, just let my heart feel hurt a little bit. Like right now I have a little rose quartz on my even on my masculine side, right? So I have some rose quartz on the masculine energy because some of my structures is what has suffered. The discipline that I require, the focus to stay like the Capricorn on mission and methodical with my approach to healing is a little bruised. So it started there. And I think this is what the heart chakra is really about right now and how we all got pink. Yeah, it's probably an empath thing. I was an angry person after the narc, but now I feel peace and the empathy is coming back. Hell yeah. Love. I'm going to throw hella love on that one. I'm going to throw the love. I feel you in that. And yo, I felt that anger too. I felt that anger. I caught my mind wanting to think like a fucking angry person, think and rage. Like, you think I find myself getting like competitive with like what I wanted to do back. And I'm so happy that I've been having to meditate a shit ton more. And I'm so happy that I studied with the monks back in Asia because they really helped me to be able to just observe my thoughts of like, damn, I'm really fucking angry about this. Like, you know, but to be able to observe it and not to try to control them, not to try to control my thoughts, not to try to push them back, not to try to drown them out with music, you know, not to try to fucking drink them and drown them down with alcohol. I ain't even gonna sit there and stunt. I've been smoking a couple blunts here and there, so that could be part of my advice on how some of them drowning it out. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. I'm not fucking perfect, but shit, that's what it is. Shit, I wrote one before I made this video. I just didn't smoke it, but it's ready. It's ready. So yeah, I had to really check in with what was I really angry about, and the anger for me was that it's taken me 10 years to recognize this karmic cycle. Like it fucking upsets me a little bit, you know, it really does. And like it upsets me to see, damn, I have a type, you know, I have a type, and that type is very fucking elusive. They're very elusive. They're very charming up front. They're very idealistic, and they create this vision of who they want me to be, and I fucking fall into it, and I be exactly that person, and I shift who I am, and I stay mutable, and I change, and I'm always solving their problems, and I'm not solving my own. And that shit made me angry. But I think the step for me to start really healing on a new level, as I recognize this karmic cycle for the first time, I recognize it in real time. I can start to give some gratitude to myself as well and be thankful as fuck that I finally recognized it in real time. Normally it's 2 years later and I'm looking back and I'm like, damn, what really happened in that relationship? And I would have wounds. I would be wounded in ways that I just was unaware of. So all my empaths out here, I hope that resonated. I hope that I'm trying to just be as real as I can right now. I'm just trying to be vulnerable and step out there. And I'm going to just wrap up tip number 10 for the empaths, the boundaries that you can create and how to stand in your power. Check in with the food, yo. Because if you're an empath, your spiritual energy is impacted tremendously by the foods you eat. You eat unhealthy foods, you start to block and calcify your pineal gland, which is your intuition. And empaths, your intuition is fucking everything. You feel me? You start to lower and weaken your magnetic force field around you. Your motherfucking Jedi techniques, they start to not have as much power, not have as much access. So the food is really critical, I think. I think it's overlooked because think about it, like when you're not grounded, you're not grounded. It's just what it is. And food is one of the things that grounds you. So try to eat a little bit less dairy here and there, try to eat a little bit less meat here and there. And, obviously sodas and sugars and processed foods, just try not to. And hopefully that works well for you. Missy, I found myself wanting to fall back into my old escape patterns, Mercury retrograde through mini curveball. Yo, I feel you on that. Missy, I feel you on that. One of my old escape patterns was like, after a relationship, quite frankly, just put myself on the market and just be like, look, I'm available. Who wants to fuck? And that was what again, observing this, just observing it and not acting on it. Just observing this and not acting on it. Just observing this and not acting on it. Or some of my old patterns would be, that was rising up would be, go take care of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Go take care of somebody else. And I had a friend who, I can't even sit there and say it's a friend, but I had to recognize, oh shit, this motherfucker's gold digging. I was like, nah, cut that. And I pulled the cord quick. And this is where I could start spending some time on gratitude and recognize that I'm angry for a reason, but also to make the switches, make the changes. You know what I'm saying? Make the changes. Check in on my old escape patterns. It's like, Pernell, fucking retain your semen, bro. Stay clear. You're already in this tunnel of darkness. And right now I don't need to add more pressure on top of that. I don't need to be sitting there paying for people and their shit. When I recognize my intuition's telling me, oh, gold digger. No, cut the cord. I don't need to be sitting there wasting my sexual energy on some random ass hoe, some random ass bimbo, call it what you want. Not even to be rude, but just somebody who just wants my energy, which not even just that person just wants my energy, but me looking to avoid the void. Okay. Avoid the void. Because right now, I'll be honest, there's a big fucking void in my life. There's a void. And this void has caused a lot of pain. This void has broken a lot of structures that I spent the last 4 or 5 months building, that I spent the last 4 or 5 months nurturing. And I have a fucking void right now, and it sucks. So to check in and recognize, like, exactly, no distractions. Every morning I try to write one goal. It comes up in my tab. It's called momentum. And, yesterday it was said, trust the vision. Yesterday it said, trust the vision. And it always asks me every morning, what's your main focus today? So my main focus today, I'm going to actually type it right now. It's going to be no distractions. No distractions. I got things to do. Bam. No distractions. Can't have nobody coming in and draining me right now. So number 11, create boundaries in love. Don't overgive yourself and then withdraw when you're drained. Ooh, this is critical. Okay, because I did this. This is one of my patterns as well. I find myself giving so much that finally I get drained and I just can't give anymore, which is exactly when the problem starts with any narcissist, when they finally tap your reservoir and they recognize, damn, this motherfucker ain't got nothing to give. So now this is when I'm going to act up the most. You know what I'm saying? When they tap that reservoir, and then that's when you find yourself having to withdraw because you're so down and out. You're so low that it's like, I can't even do nothing but lay down in my bed. I don't even have enough strength to turn Netflix on right now. That is why we need to, as empaths, set boundaries and love. We have to set boundaries with our coworkers. All right, we have to, because big truck. Because when you find yourself so drained that you have to just withdraw, this is when we start letting hate creep into our heart. This is when we start letting hate creep into our heart. This is when we start to close off our heart. You know, Life Path 11, I can say for myself, and probably every empath out here, there's a part of you that wears your heart on your sleeve. It's what helps you to attract so many broken people in the first place in order for you to heal, which is a part of your purpose, but not by sacrificing yourself either. Create the boundaries, because if you withdraw from being drained, this is when you're already weak, and now your mind starts to cycle the most negative fucking thoughts. It starts to cycle like, I want to kill myself. It starts to cycle, I'll fuck that person, I want to pop their tire. Or it starts to cycle, I'm going to ruin their business. Or it starts to cycle, I'm going to fucking just wish something bad upon them and cast black magic. You know what I'm saying? So be very careful of when you have to withdraw from being drained, rather than withdrawing intentionally prior to that, to maintain your self-worth, to maintain your energy, to maintain the protection you should give to yourself. All right. We're gonna move to number 12. Everybody definitely like, subscribe. Anybody interested in a one-on-one personal retreat coming out to either Colombia or Mexico, come see your boy. Ask me about it. I made a presentation. I really like it. I think it's really pretty, quite frankly, but that's another topic. All right. Like this, subscribe to this, share this video with somebody you know suffering or struggling with setting boundaries, or struggling with setting and standing in their power. Number 12 out of 14, baby. I spent my time trying to map these 14 out. Create boundaries with TV or technology. You are absorbing the frequency. Don't forget that you are what you eat. All right. I recently had to stop watching movies with so much shoot 'em up, killing American style movies, because you know, it was wiring me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already so wired right now. I'm so like, and it was just keeping my adrenaline up. It was keeping me in a fight or flight mode, right? Literally, like, and I was finding myself so much. I'm already in Aries, so I'm always ready to fight, anyways. Like, and so watching so much shoot 'em up movies, bombs, cars blowing, it's like, you're an empath, you're a healer. These are frequencies you're fully absorbing. All right. This also will count something like porn, let's say, right? I sit there and just be watching porn. It's like, yo, it's a frequency. You know what I'm saying? You can feel that that porn star, male or woman, is doing a job, and that they're not really honoring and aligned with their body. All right. And I'm not going to say each and every single person, but because of that, you are absorbing all of the parts of them that's misaligned. You're absorbing that energy and that frequency. Like I said, if you're empath, you can attach to the emotion and feel the emotion. So you can look that woman in her eyes. And you probably knew this from a little kid when you first started watching porn, even if you couldn't articulate that verbally, you know, and you're like, yo, she's fake moaning, or yo, he's not really sweating like that. Whatever it is, you know, they don't want to be there. Not entirely. It might for a purpose, whether it's like money or fame or whatever, but check in with the technology. Check in when you're watching porn, you're absorbing these frequencies and energies. Check in when you're watching these shoot 'em up movies and your adrenaline is so super duper high. Check in when you're watching too many love movies back to back to back, and you're getting super idealistic about what you want your perfect little princess love story to look like. All right. And this goes for men as well. Whoever just came in, definitely like this, subscribe this. Thank you for checking in with us. We have an event running soon. It's a movement meditation. It's going to be focused on forgiveness for the Scorpio new moon. So thank you. Tonight is the Aries full moon. The struggle with this one, though, I used to watch trash drama TV and horror movies. Nowadays, it takes me an hour to let go of those negative attachments. Yo, Carla, put a fast on it, man. Missy, fast. So fasting isn't just from food, right? We gotta spiritually fast. We gotta mentally fast. We need to physically fast. All right. I've had to actually physically fast from heavy exercises, from doing weights, heavy weights. I had to fast from that for my body to get more in tune, that it required more mobility and more movement. All right. This also goes with the TV. the trash drama TV. Fast from the trash drama, because that becomes your drama, and you begin to carry that drama in your love life. You begin to carry that drama in your relationships, where we got to take certain ownerships, where it may not just be our narcissistic counterparts that we are attracting, or these broken people that we're attracting. It might literally be us bringing in the drama from these different forms of escape from our other problems. When we're not helping that one person and being drained from them, we may be draining ourselves, because we're not helping ourselves when we're, let's say, diving in the technology, the drama, and now we're bringing that drama into our relationship. We're bringing that drama into our work life. We're bringing that drama into how we raise our kids, right? So take a fast. I would say 7 days. Just say, look, even if you watch TV, no drama and no horror movies. Because I'll be honest, I stopped watching movies when I was a kid. I was like, yo, this shit is real. I remember I was a kid. I was like, nah. Like, people thinking that this shit is real. And I just knew there was a part of me that just felt like, no. With certain spirits and shit in the movies, quite frankly, I was super hypersensitive to it. Like, part of it when I was younger was because I was scared. But when I got older, I was not necessarily scared of the certain parts, but I'd always have this nervous energy rolling in my body. And what I started recognizing was, the imagination of these people making these horror movies, it comes because they're having dreams. It comes because they're having premonitions. They're having prophecies that come through them as channels. They're having real life experiences where they see spirits, they see demons, they see angels, and when I begin to be able to see these things myself, I start recognizing, again, you're an empath, you're a healer, you're a light worker. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be very careful. You gotta be very careful with this 12th rule. This 12th rule is very important, because TV, cell phone, porn, fucking drama, movies, podcasts, these are the things that take the most of our time, and they fill up our minds, right? Create some boundaries with that. If you're an empath, you are what you eat. I used to enjoy watching people squirm with the drama and confrontations. Now that I don't practice that BS in my life, I've lost the taste. Absolutely. And this is the beauty. What you just said is, I've lost the taste. Honestly, like, I don't know. I think it was like 3 years ago when that came to my mind. I was like, I don't really want to watch porn. I don't even know why, but I lost the taste. I lost the taste. I remember I don't even know when the last time I actually tried to look at our porn. But when I did, I remember I didn't even masturbate. I turned it off. I lost the taste. You know what I'm saying? When you fast from things spiritually, emotionally, physically, you lose the taste. I lost the taste. And I remember that day, actually, because I was still fucking horny, quite frankly. I was really still horny. And I remember I closed everything out. I think like 2 hours went by. I was still fucking horny. And I said, you know what? I'm going to masturbate for myself, with myself. I lit some candles. I lit an incense. I grabbed my oils. And that's just what it was. By myself, with my own imagination, I was able to please myself. And that was more satisfying. All right. I'm happy you said that. I lost the taste. Here we go. Number 13 out of 14 tips for my empaths: how to set boundaries, how to stand into it. I haven't done it in 3 years. Is that normal? You haven't done what? You haven't had sex? You haven't masturbated? Now I'll watch Teal Swan or astrologers like you. Hey, yo, because that's what I had to start doing too. Like, honestly, most of my time is watching astrology. Yo, I be eating this shit up. I'm like learning every day. Like, feed me. If I'm not watching astrology, I got clientele. Like, people are booking fucking natal readings back to back to back. CJ, if you want to, I got a 15-minute free one out there right now. If you want a free natal reading, I got a 15-minute free natal reading out there right now. So that's a possibility if you want to kind of dive in to your chart, see what's happening in your life. Where is number 14? Okay, bang. Number 13. I'm going to drop number 13. CJ, just let me know if you want that reading. I think it's at the top of this chat, but I could drop it again. Just let me know. It's just that simple. So for my empaths, Mitzi, I know you had got yours. For my empaths, boundaries. Here we go. Number 13. Create boundaries to isolate. I think I talked about this in number 2 a little bit earlier, but it was indirect. You have to create boundaries in order to create some isolation time. If you're a healer, you're a light worker, you're out here doing God's work, call it what you want, the divine work, call it what you want. It's important for you to be okay with telling people, especially people that don't want you to separate. Yeah, what's that? Um, and CJ, I saw you said 3 years ago. You ain't do what in 3 years? I haven't done that in 3 years. I don't know exactly what the it is, but I had just definitely still dropped that free 15-minute native reading with you. Feel free, you can book it. Um, and I'm just actually doing bang, 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 bang. Okay, and anybody else that came in here, if you didn't get one with me already, feel free. That's that there. So, um, create boundaries. Listen to the animals. Listen to the nature. Recharge your love for life. All right. So our sacral chakra, our orange chakra, is responsible for joy. It's responsible for pleasure. Right. And when you're an empath and you're helping, you're healing, you're doing so much work, and you don't create time to isolate with nature. You don't create time. This is definitely one of your tips. Create time to isolate with nature. Create time to listen to the birds sing for you every morning without your permission. All right. Every morning they sing. Take time to appreciate the sun and that bomb ass feeling. If you're in the house, you're always in the shadows, feel the sun. Just pause, stop in the middle of the road, and just let the sun soak on your skin with presence. All right, with presence, not because you have to walk and now you're like, oh God, I'm so hot and I got no, with presence. Feel the sun, touch. You know what I'm saying? Like literally every day, I swear to God, like, and I need to do it more because it hasn't been every day lately. I go up to a tree and I just put my ear to the tree and I just listen. And I did it today because I woke up. I mean, I'm on like 4 hours of sleep right now. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. I'm on some other shit. And it was really helpful. So create time to isolate your empath, and recharge your love for life. All right. Recharge that sacral chakra energy. Recharge your love for life. Um, and here is my final tip. So it's a good time to ask any questions before we leave out. Thank you for the watching astrologers like me, Missy. By the way, that's pretty dope. The last tip is create boundaries and stand in your power, which is what all of this is about. No sex in 3 years. Confidence very low after narc abuse. CJ, how old are you now? If you mind me asking. And no sex in 3 years is really not a bad thing, quite frankly. It's really not a bad thing. It probably is what exactly you needed to recharge. Like if you went through so much abuse in a narcissistic relationship, it's probably what you really needed to recharge. But I will say this: we're going to Scorpio season. It's going to be Scorpio on Mars. It's going to be Scorpio in the Sun. It's Scorpio on Mercury, and the magneticism. If you really want to have, I don't know what your zodiac signs are. If you do a reading with me, I'll be able to like walk through that and see what's up. But and the links there. But you've had sex in 3 years. Like that's not a bad thing. All right, that sounds like to me like you just needed that to charge your energy up. Because I've went long spans as well without sex. I've went long spans. I do it actually on purpose, to be honest. I do it intentionally. Even when I'm in relationships, sometimes I have phases where I have that conversation and I'm just like, look, like right now, this is the season. No distractions. Missy said earlier, I'm 29. Oh man, so you're going through your Saturn return this year. Okay, bet. Um, and so since 26, yeah, you know what? Like from 26 to 29, quite frankly, that's probably one of the best things you could have did, because that's also a time frame where life is so real that during that 26 to 29, people are just fucking just to fuck because they're avoiding what that void looks like. So you seem like you were probably able to be in that void more conscious and more aware, because you may have 6 3 years. I don't know how frequent, how often you may or may not be masturbating, but if you weren't too much, that means that you're supercharged right now. That means you're a power punch. You're a Virgo. Ooh, Virgo. Excited for some great sex. Yes, yo. Yes. I ain't gonna stunt. I'm like, damn, Scorpio season. You got Mars and Scorpio. I'm on Scorpio rising. It's time to be super magnetic. It's like, yo, come my way, please, because that'd be great. I feel you on that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't have no partner for this right now, but maybe I get blessed. Maybe I get blessed with a partner that I feel comfortable and emotionally secure with to actually want to have sex with them. 29. I'm a Virgo. Do you know your rising sign, CJ? Um, Virgo Very low confidence after helping a narc. Yeah, I mean, the key thing with the Virgo is, you know, you're naturally a server. You naturally serve, especially who your partner is. You're doing all these practical things for them. You know what I'm saying? You're doing all these tangible things that they can benefit from. You're literally creating, certain mundane structures that narc probably relied on because it's boring to them, but you're probably really good at it. Um, but again, that could create a low confidence. Maybe not even because of the sex. No, what's that? Your rising sign? Yeah, honestly, you see this. This is really the best. This is the best way. If you've never dived into your astrology chart and you just turned 29, this is the best way. It's a free reading. Um, it's astrology, bro. I'm an astrologer. You're on an astrologer's channel right now. So astrology, essentially, you're a Virgo, right? But that's just because your birthday is in the season of Virgo season, whatever month that is, August 31st. I know my sister's a Virgo. She's August 31st. So everything prior to that, that's just how your conscious mind registers. It registers as a Virgo. It registers as somebody who wants to serve, somebody who's perfectly fine, improving constantly and daily these mundane tasks in their life, the shit that everybody else thinks is really, really boring. And for you, Virgo, you can just sustain those things and keep building. I don't know what house your Virgo sits in. That's something that as you do your reading, I'll be able to help you with. But that doesn't talk about your emotional world, right? It doesn't talk about your private life, which is now talking about where the moon lies. So the moon is probably a different sign. It's probably not Virgo. You have Mercury, there's another planet, right? These are just planets. These are just planets. And these Virgos, Aries, those are just constellations. All right. It's a cluster of stars in the sky. And those constellations, Aquarius, Leo, when you were born, that constellation, Mars could have been the constellation of Leo. And that would talk about your sex drive, right? Like there could literally be some contrast and tension in your sex drive that had nothing to do with the narcs. And it actually has more and all to do with you. And I would be able to kind of look into your astrology chart and be able to decipher like, oh, look, here's actually what this tension is about. It's not about this narc. Actually, it's about you not necessarily fully knowing what you need in order to feel safe and move forward in the space of sex. This is something I had discovered for myself where I'm like, look, I'm an Aries and I'm a Scorpio rising. So it's like those two motherfuckers, they just love sex. They're all about it. Like Mars is a ruler and Mars is where all whole sex drives lie. So it's like sex is a thing for me. I fuck with it. I love it. It's awesome, right? But my Mars itself was ruled by Cancer, which is like, look, it was telling me until I feel emotionally safe, I'm not really going to move forward in any of my sexual relationships or any people until I feel safe with them emotionally, until I feel like, that they even match what I feel like I need, which is very different than the Aries. Aries is like, look, I'm just going to go do it. And I don't really care about all of this emotional shit on the back end. It's going to be passionate. You feel me? So that helped me a lot. I had a workshop actually that I did talking about how to create an incredible sex life, leveraging astrology, all the placements of where to go for um, for your sex placements and understanding your sex life. So that's something we could definitely focus on. You have the link there. We're number 14. Create by understanding your power. Okay, breathing exercises. So I'm not gonna do any breathing exercises right now, only because I did a breath workshop just Sunday and I put it up on my YouTube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it here because it's the last tip that I have. It's the last tip that I have for my empaths that are watching this video to do some breath work. All right. This video right here is a breath works. I'm teaching you how to use your sexual energy. So if you're not having sex, this is going to be more potent and powerful for you. Teaching you how to use your sexual energy to move it throughout your body in different areas of your body in order to heal. All right. So this is that. Boom. That is that workshop. You want to focus on some breath works? I think I'm a Cancer ascendant. Ooh, yeah, of course. You're definitely an empath. You're a Cancer ascendant, bro. Hell yeah, you're a fucking empath. Wow, yeah, Virgo and Cancer. You're really. I can tell already. You're a really nice guy, CJ. I can tell already, like, you're really a sweetheart. Like, quite frankly, you're really a sweetheart already, just from the Virgo, that earth and that water combination. Yeah, so definitely check in with that link because this live's about to end. My last tip for the is to create a boundary, stand in your power with breathing exercises. All right, but do it so on a ritual base. Do it so proactively. Don't only breathe and try to go meditate when you're angry and when you're enraged or when you feel like fuck life. That's not saying don't do it at that time, but be proactive and try to get it in before that time comes because it helps you with the management of your energy as a bruja, as a witch, as a fucking, spellcaster, as a magician. You know what I'm saying? Like as an empath, as a healer, as a light worker, somebody here to help others understand their own emotions, help to serve what you're good at. So breathing exercises are critical because it removes the illusions. It clears out your imagination, makes space for you to be more imaginative, makes space for you to trust in yourself, trust in your mission, trust in your purpose. All right. Thank you for your likes and subscribes on this. Empaths, you're dealing with narcs, you're dealing with people who don't have any of your interest in their mind. It's okay to protect yourself. It's okay to enjoy some great sex coming in Scorpio season. That shit is funny. You have breath workshops right here, 4 workshops that you can just check in, do some of the breathing exercises. And again, CJ, if you're on this, I'm going to head out, but you have that 15-minute free. Feel free, book a calendar with me, ask me a question, and we'll give you an answer. And it's just that simple. I love you all. I thank you for joining. If you have any questions, it's a good time to put that last comment because I'm ending this stream in 10, 9. Subscribe, like this, bring it to somebody else, share it, come to my next workshop. I would enjoy that. Why not? See you soon. Big love. Ciao.